Okay, rescue mission for myself. I crashed my cargo ship. Now I gotta go fetch it. Whoops. Good thing I have 2 ships. And off we go. Speeder, so I can go fetch my other ship once I get to base on Alioth. Okay, rescue mission. Gotta rescue myself. Life is hard, then we die. Can't believe I crashed my ship. But I did it. We're gonna go rescue it. Yes, we are. See, it pays to have backups to get to the other world. Now, I'm bringing a resurrection node with me so I can die back and forth to my 2 bases. So, sometimes we do dumb things. I was pushing with a load of cargo, I was pushing into space, and I lost connection to the internet, or the game lost connection. Got the dreaded icon of no connection, server connection. And I didn't recover, it didn't recover in time, and it crashed and killed me. So I wound up back on sanctuary mode. But I'm going to get the other ship. I'll have resurrection nodes at both places. I made another resurrection node. I brought my speeder so I can leave my ship at the base and go get my other one. Then I'll bring it back to Sanctuary. Then I can die back to Alioth and bring this one back. Or I can leave it there. But I'll have a ship at both bases now. So, life is hard, then we die. I also made another large motor to slap on this other cargo ship, so I have faster recovery time, a bigger, more atmospheric thrust. Hopefully that will make it recover faster when something goes wrong, when I'm plunging to the surface of the planet. But I plunged and I died. So we're taking old Reliable here to the rescue to go fetch my other one. Actually, I think this is a much cooler looking ship. It's just not as big. I probably ought to have made it just like this, only bigger. This one has a small cargo box in it. The other one has a medium, which is quite a bit of difference. Mass weight it can carry or hold. As you can see, we're warping down. When we get out of the gravity well, we'll break it down and we will change our trajectory. So lots of gameplay here. Yeah, I could just make a bigger version of this one. I guess. But the other one was flying all right. I mean, I think I would have had trouble getting it into space anyway with a full load of cargo. That's a lot of weight in the medium. I only had it 60% full. But I had a lot of cargo on my person too. I went down there and mined copper. A little bit of everything. But I did have the cargo box 60% full, 62, something like that. Could probably use a little more thrust in the atmosphere. All that weight that I was carrying, mass, gross weight. Okay, we are out of the atmosphere. We're going to have to make a trajectory change because we will not get to the planet at our trajectory here. You see we're getting pulled down. Turn the vectors on. But we're getting pulled down. Even at full burn, we are not going to get where we want to go. So we'll break it down and we'll change our trajectory, get into the right warp stream. See, our warp stream is pulling us down right now. See, we're getting pulled down into the warp stream because it affected the gravity well. Affects us when we hit warp inside the gravity well. So we'll break down, change our break down and change our directory. We got to get out of warp to be able to do that. Warp happens right around 2000. A little less than that, 19 something. So we're breaking down. So we get to where we want to go. We're out of warp. We'll go ahead and break down, keep breaking. So we don't have to overcome inertia. If we break all the way down with retro thrusters, we don't have to overcome inertia to get it going the direction we want. We can just go the direction we want. We'll Almost broke, broken, breaking. Okay, let's, we'll rotate the planet so we have our marker at the top here. Whoops. Got carried away there. This is space, and where thrusters are thrusters. Alrighty. Now we're just going to head the right direction. Give it our throttle again, and we'll pick it back up in the warp. As you can see, we are now going the right direction. Very important to go the right direction. And about 1950, 2000, we'll push back into warp, and we'll have to brake when we get to about 1 SU to 1.5, we'll start braking again. Fun stuff. But yes, I might just leave this ship on this planet. Not come back and fetch it. That way I have a ship on each planet where I'm at. Okay, we're back into warp. Waste all this fuel now. It'll keep accelerating in the right direction. And we can save some fuel. Yeah, comedy of errors. Some of them were mine, some of them were the server. I don't know why it decided at that time the server decided to lose my connection. When I saw the little icon that says no server connection, and I was only about 3,000 feet, I thought, oh my God. And what happens is you drop like a rock. And even though I throttled it up and gave it full boost, I hit the ground, and you're not supposed to hit the ground. And it killed me. I died a miserable death. But one thing about these ships, they are salvageable. If you can go back and get them, you can repair them, and that's what I'm going to do. Even in space, I reckon you can fix them if you get blowed up by somebody. You can go back and repair it, I'd imagine. Although they may steal the cargo out of it. And sooner or later, there's going to be salvage gameplay. So if you leave your ship too long in space, somebody come along and start salvaging the parts. But hey, I was going to fly some Microsoft Flight Simulator, but I guess I can fly back and forth between planets instead. And I might just recover the ship, fly it back to the base here. I say it's base, I have a territory unit here. And a pad with a medium cargo box on it, that's all I have here. I haven't decided whether or not to build up a base here or not. Pretty much the same materials on both the sanctuary moon in here, although it's better mining here because the veins are normally bigger. Some of them are really big. I had a quartz vein here earlier when I was down there mining, and it was worth 20K of ore. I could never get that much in one vein on sanctuary. And most of sanctuary runs around 3,000, 3,500 liters, and here they usually run 5,000 plus. So like I say, the veins are normally bigger, and then you can hit the mother lode, like I did on the quartz, which I really didn't need. I got plenty of quartz. I got 20K back on sanctuary, but I figured I'd go ahead and clean out the vein. I always try to clean out the veins that I hit because I don't want them to show back up on my scanner later. Because if you just leave some and it's not a full load, when you start out, you normally can't always carry enough to clean a vein out, but when you can link to a container, you can easily. Although my nanopack skills are high enough now, I can clean out a pretty good sized vein without having to be linked. And my link is over 1,250, maybe 1,500 now. So that's a pretty good distance from my container link for its link, which helps, but when you're down deep 1,000 feet, yeah, the odds are you won't be able to use your link container when you're getting higher tier materials. You're going to be too far away from it. Although you could build you an underground cavern, say 1,000 meters deep, clean it out, put in a static core, put you a medium box down there. I might have to do that. That might be a good idea to do deep mining that way. Still have a link container. Put the containers far enough apart that when you start, you link the top one, and as you go down, you go to the other box, link to it. You can make a pretty good supply chain that way, I think. We do have travel time here, although we do have regular special warp travel, but you have to make the warp drive. I'm not on a planet yet where I can collect the materials. They're tier 3 and 4 materials, or at least tier 3. None of the moons or planets that I'm on have tier 3 yet, so I cannot make a warp drive. But the warp drive here, you have to have the warp drive, and then you have to travel and place a beacon, so you can warp to the beacon from anywhere, but you have to have the beacon in place, and you take special fuel, which is called warp cells, that you have to produce or buy. Like I say, you don't have to make anything in this game if you just want to collect things, sell them, and then buy whatever you want. I haven't bought anything yet, but I'm just enjoying figuring out how to make things. And I have not got into space constructs, space stations yet. I haven't made a space-only ship. My biggest core right now that I can use is a medium-sized core. But I have all the mediums open, both space, ground, dynamic, which are the ships. It's all in the talent points. Still got a lot of talents to earn that will take years to get them all. It's like Eve, they'll never stop. But you get better and better at things, including piloting. Now, if I'd have had top-notch tiers in my piloting talents, I probably would have recovered the ship before it hit the ground. But I'm still basically a rookie. Although I almost think I almost have 3 million talent points now. Let's see what I got. I think I got 2.8, almost 3 million talents. I've been playing since beta open, plus I got in a week early because I was a backer. I have a few, and I have a few talent points I can spend on anything I want up at. 3960 is, I can apply to anything. That's, I don't know how many hours, days, talents, but I'm waiting until I have to use them. I'm almost done with this. Container augmentation, that's distance from the container that I can still stay linked and use it. Another 250 meters. This will be done, and then I'm going into some stuff I really don't need a whole lot of, but I use it, so I'm taking it. And I'm more mining range, effector, I'm trying to get most of my mining skills up. Let's see, mining, I'm getting pretty high in them. Equipment, miner, dredger, these two are the big mining ones. Terraformer's not all that important, except when you're building your base, you need to do some things. Avatar is conditioning, cardio, jetpack, athletics, by how fast you walk, you run, you jump, all that stuff. It's kind of important. You use it quite a bit. Architect is, like I say, how many cores you can use. I'm only tier 3 right now. I can use 6 cores. I can have 6 active at a time. You can actually have 6, 8, 10 plus another 5. So you can have a whole lot of cores once you, advanced core is the more active units, but you have to finish this before you can go into that. Static core units, this is the size of your cores. As you see, I'm up to size medium on the statics, and I'm also size medium on the dynamic, which is ships. Static cores are space stations and your bases. All very important stuff. Equipment manager is your tools, like how fast you refuel, how fast you can repair and shit. And trust me, when you go to repair, it's slow. So getting points in that stuff is important. Inventory manager, how much you can see, how many liters of volume you can carry. Containers, how much they carry. 10% storage on a box. 10%. The bigger the box, you gain a whole lot. I think standard medium box holds 64,000. Mine are up to 86,000. So I can, they load a whole lot more. It's like I say, and there's talents for everything. You have to pick and choose what you want. The one thing you want to make sure you do is keep the queue going. You'll see my accumulation rate is 90 points a minute. If I did not have things queued up for days, or if I didn't have something in the queue, it would drop down to 6 a minute. So you really punish yourself when you do not have things queued up. I'm queued up for 6 days, so for 6 days I don't have to worry about it, and I won't change anything. I'll just stick with what I've picked. Everything is helpful, and we're getting closer. Now you can move around like this in warp, but it's not going to do you any good. You're not actually going to do much to change your direction. We're sucked into warp now. We're pretty much tunneled into the direction the stars are moving from. We have to increase speed and brake, and it's hard to get to change your trajectory in space. Very hard to do unless you have lots of thrust. I have tried, I have played with it, and I've found out just slow down, brake warp, stop the ship, change your attitude, and then reaccelerate. takes longer, but you know what? You'll just slide sideways, and you will not change your trajectory unless you put more motor on your ship than's worth having. So, just something I've learned. But you want the warp tunnel, the gravity affects the warp tunnel. When you're coming out of a planet, unless you're going straight up with rockets, when you hit warp, you're going to get sucked down as you're traversing. The gravity of these planets and moons affect the warp. You learn that quickly. So I have learned not to worry about changing my trajectory coming out of warp. Coming away from the planet, I just get out of the gravity well. If you brake before you get to the gravity, out of the gravity well, the planet will suck you back down. You ain't nothing you can do about it. It will suck you back down before your ship will recover. So don't slow down until you see gravity, and gravity says 0. It is not applicable because you're too far away. I've learned these things the hard way. I've done a few planet smacks. Most of them have been my fault. I don't consider this last one my fault because server disconnected, or didn't disconnect, it lost connection, then it regained it. But whenever you're disconnected from the server for whatever reason, it stops your ship. It kills your momentum, and it was only a few seconds, but it was enough that when the server picked me back up, I was falling to the ground. And even though I knew it, it wasn't nothing I could do about it. I mean, I tried to recover. I just didn't have enough thrust with a full load of fuel. With a big load of cargo and a medium box, I didn't have enough thrust to recover. I mean, it was close. I thought I might make it, but I did not make it. I was giving it all she got, just like Scotty did. Now we're braking here because we don't want to hit the atmosphere too hard. Hopefully I started braking soon enough. Because we hit the atmosphere at this speed, we're going to crash this ship. Now we want to get it down to about 1100 is safe, which I do believe we'll make it. I've actually hit the atmosphere at this kind of speed, and I hit it just right, and I actually got through it. I think I burned up one of the, on this ship, I burned up a couple of the vertical engines, but it did not burn the ship up and destroy me. But the other times I've hit it at that speed, and yeah, it was just toast. So the angle of the dangle does matter. But like I say, you don't want to hit the atmosphere at high speed if you want to make sure you don't kill yourself. And that's why I got full brake on right now. We're going to drop it. Hopefully by the time I hit the atmosphere, I'll be down to about 1100 speed. I got quite a bit of brakes on this little ship. See, we're now out of warp, so we're actually going to drop down before we actually hit the atmosphere. Although we are now in the gravity well, you'll notice the gravity's coming up right now. If we just let her coast, it's going to pull us into the planet. We will hit the planet now. We don't have to worry about it. We're coming down. Alright, we're going to get off the brake, let her coast in. You'll notice we're accelerating with no thrust, and that's because the gravity of the planet has us. So have to keep it. Just because you slow down, this is not another game. Just because you slow down don't mean you stay slowed down. These ships act like the real ones. There's no hand waving them. So you have to keep braking, keep your speed down. You can never put too many brakes on your ship. Never. Whether they're retro brakes in space or retro thrusters, or they are air brakes in the atmosphere, you can never have too many. I have learned that. I put brakes on my ships. I got them everywhere. This little ship, well, you can't see them, but it's got 2 on the side. It's got one there on the front. It's got 2 on the bottom. Like I say, it's got lots of brakes, and it does a really good job of braking. I was not afraid to put brakes on it. Well, at first I didn't know any better. And I was flipping and burning the whole ship, turning the ship around 180 degrees, firing up the thrust, and that does, it works, but yeah, it's a hassle. It's easier just to put thrusters on it, brakes, do it that way. And you can't do that in the atmosphere, but you can do it in space. See how we're falling to Earth, even though we are just falling. See how our arrow, see the green arrow there, that's telling you our trajectory. It's just going to fall. There's nothing I can do about it. Except keep my speed down. Gravity has us. And our base is not actually where you're seeing the marker. It's actually around the curve of the planet. I can tell by the topography that's not where our base is. You'll find you'll have to travel around the planet quite often getting somewhere. They rotate, they spin, they do all kinds of shit, so once I'm sure we're in the atmosphere, I'll see the atmospheric motor kick in. I will throttle it up. And I've got to use it a little forward momentum, but we don't have enough thrust on to overcome the gravity. Even if I tried to pull out of the planet right now, it would be tough to break the gravity well in this position. This angle, being it's already got a hold of me. As soon as I see atmo thrust kick in, I will just get some roll in here. Brake, 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 brake. Okay, we're getting close to picking up the atmosphere. We are getting close. And you'll see we are dropping fast. There we go. We're 20,000 feet and we're falling like a rock. And we got to get down to what, 5,000 before our atmospheric motors will start kicking in. And we'll have to start getting our lift up. And I don't like coming in over this mountain that's cutting me out of time to recover. Forward momentum. We're going to swing out here and try and get around so we're not overcoming the gravity. So pull on the ship, even though we are in full burn here. But I'm trying to kind of steer it off the mountain so I have a little bit more room to the ground. Okay, we should be getting some atmospheric thrust here. We're starting to get lift off our wings. Here we go, and we are making a successful re-entry. We have gotten out. Okay, see did that? Now, I'm sure brave pilots have it set up and they can just plunge in and go like hell. But you know what? They know more what they're doing than I do. There are ships that have lots of power. Okay, we can get off the brake now. We're going to go around the planet. Well, not too far enough. I've been farther from our base. If I can remember how to use a blueprint, I got a speeder with me. Blueprint with all the parts. I'm going to park this ship at the base, put in the resurrection node, and then I'm going to take the speeder to our crash ship. Because it's easy to take the speeder apart and put it back into blueprint form. Like I say, this is a rescue mission. I'm rescuing myself. Because I crashed my new cargo ship. Shouldn't have got greedy. What happened? But I do like this little ship. Like I say, I wish we had curved glass, could do more with the cockpits, you know. But it has vertical thrust as well as horizontal thrust. So it's really good with the lift department. And it hovers really well. This one does. The other one does too. But I learned a lot on making this one. This was actually my second ship. My first one was really hairy. It was real squirrely. And I could have fixed it, but it was really just too small for what I needed to have it done. I needed at least a small cargo box, so I made this one. Okay, now we're just wasting fuel, but we got plenty of fuel to waste. We're not going through it too fast. Now everybody's making comments that it's not real pretty yet. No, they did not work on the graphics. I mean, the graphics are in, they're just not pretty graphics. They didn't do all that work. They worked on the engine, they worked on the multiplayer, they worked on the mechanics. They're all in. The pretties will come next after they get done tweaking all the mechanics. So yeah, we do not have fancy landscapes yet. Although we do have volumetric clouds, we do have clouds that are gorgeous when they're around. Let's see. But we do not have. Get off the burn a little bit. Since wasting fuel. But yeah, purdies weren't a priority. Whoa, little server jerk there. So people have been commenting it's not as pretty as Star Citizen. Well, no, it ain't supposed to be. Unlike Star Citizen, they're not selling JPEGs here. But, however, we do have a server with, what, 5,000, 3,000 people in the same server? In a sandbox. It's a pretty good sized sandbox. You know, what Star Citizen says they're going to do, but haven't figured out how to do it. These guys have figured out how to do it, and it's working. And we have mining that you actually have to mine. We have the tools to mine with. We have scanning. We have what Star Citizen wishes they had. We have all our gameplay already. Now it's not all fleshed out perfectly, but we have it. Like I say, the core mechanics of the game are here. And talk about a market. The market here is amazing. They've just done an outstanding job putting the market together. It's completely by us players. You do not have to make a thing. You can play the market just like a stock market. You can travel all over picking up items for dirt cheap and selling them at a high price somewhere else. You can really get carried away with the market here. Like I say, the gameplay mechanics are in. Birdies come later. Like I say, we're all on the same server. Everybody's on the same server. In the same solar system. Or I guess you'd say galaxy. And I've heard several things. I've heard it'll be in beta for a year. I've heard it'll be in beta till Christmas. So, you know, I don't know what's true. I haven't heard nothing from Nova Quark about what is true, what is not. They just say we do have a list that tells us what's coming, what they're working on. PvP's already a thing. People blowing you out of space, it's already a thing. If you build a base on a PvP area, they can blow your base up. It takes a while, you know, but they can work on getting it. They already have the guilds. There's some pretty good sized guilds. I haven't seen any, but I'm sure they already have some pretty nice space constructs out there, space stations. There's a wisp of cloud there. It's not very much of a cloud, but there's a wisp. All the planets have different minerals on them. They have different biomes. They're adding biomes. They're changing them. They're making the fauna look prettier. Now they're cleaning it up. They've been more concerned the first almost a month now since I've been playing. I guess the servers for everybody been open 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. Come Thursday, which is today, Thursday. So the servers have been open 3 weeks, I think. And for the backers, it's been open 4 weeks. And it ran fantastic the first week. When they opened it up for other people to play this beta, everybody started playing and the servers just couldn't handle the load and they were struggling to get the server loaded up. Even though they stress tested it with everybody. There's a big difference between a couple thousand players and 10,000 players. So they had to they got more people playing than they thought they would. So they spent a week really struggling getting the servers going back, getting the servers up to snuff. Hadn't enough of them. But you know, this last week's been pretty good. There's still bugs. I mean, don't get me wrong. I find them all the time, little bugs, but they're not game-breaking bugs. The most aggravating thing I've found is the game likes to crash for me when I log in. I may have to log in 2 or 3 times. Now, it'll completely load in, and then all of a sudden, it'll crash. And that is aggravating. So, that's one of my big pet peeves that we're still fixing, is the load-ins. Now, I don't even know if that's happening to anybody else. It may just be doesn't like my computer. I don't know if it's a worldwide thing or not. I know my computer, it crashes. It doesn't crash the computer, it just crashes, dumps me back out to Windows, sends in a crash report. And I'm moving a pretty good clip here, but you have to realize these planets are pretty big. So it takes a little while to circle them. And of course I can go faster, it's just a waste of fuel. It's just not that big a thing to shorten the trip by a few minutes. And you see the vector arrows, I have that turned on. You don't have to use them. Default is not. Now here's the display directory. You see, it'll tell you go far enough around the curve of the planet, it will suck you down. And you can turn it all on, or you can have just velocity on. You can have velocity and thrust, and then you have long range display mode, actually where you're heading. See, it just kind of curving around the planet. See that? Shows you how it operates. I use velocity and thrust, that's why you're seeing all the arrows. Lets me know everything works. Now, I have discovered that components wear out all by themselves. A lot of times I'll come in landing, I'll check my craft, even though I landed nice and safe. I find that sometimes there is damage on some of the components and I have to repair it. Now, I'm taking that's just normal wear and tear. Doesn't happen all the time. Sometimes I fly from here to home base and not a thing gets damaged. And other times I land and I check and I find that I might have lost an adjuster or a thruster or a booster, something went down. So I have a tendency to put more on than I need, so I have backup when something fails. I don't know if that's a great idea or not, but it works for me, and that's all that matters. Go ahead and get closer to the surface. Okay, now the water in here is cool. When you get close enough to the water and the wave action and stuff, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Now notice we don't have any navigation lights. Of course, if you're out in deep space, you really want to hide because some evil PvPer will snuff out your lights. I have no weapons on my ships at this time. I'm in a safe zone, so I don't have any points in it, so me shooting at these guys who are PvPing, that's where they put their points, it'd be like me tinkling in front of a fan. I'm just gonna get wet. So, oh shit, I passed up here. I'm not paying any attention. We need to break down here and come around. I passed up my base. See this back here? I don't want to turn too fast because we will screw things up. I wasn't paying any attention, and see how it speed's keeping up. Now I got full thrust down. I'm not worried about it. I'm not going to hit the ground. Ah! Too hard. I lied. I had full down thrust too. See, you don't want to turn too fast when you're close to the ground, because things will happen. And I don't think I heard anything, but I could have. I could have killed myself all over again. I'd have been screwed. I'd have been back on Sanctuary. Yeah, I should have been paying more attention. Yeah, I would have been well screwed. Yeah, see, I got something smoking, so I hit that front thruster pretty hard. My own damn fault. And this ship handles really well. There was no excuse for me being stupid. Just me being stupid. Get the gear down. Whoops, wrong button there. Set her down on the ground. Now we'll get out. Okay. As you can see, I left the door open. You don't have to worry about it. What I do, land in the hole. Pretty safe. Gee, you think maybe I might have mined there? All right, we're gonna hit the repair tool here and check for. I saw something smoking over here, so we hurt something. Although I don't see anything here. Yep, see, we've damaged the thruster. Now, I don't know how we damaged the thruster. We hit the vertical engine here, but now we're just going to repair it. Okay, is there anything else that's hurt? Don't see anything else turned red or yellow. If it's completely destroyed, it'll be red, but you can, once again, repair it. If it's yellow, it just means it took damage. Alright, doesn't look like we heard anything else, just that thruster. Alright, now, I have a resurrection node. I do believe it's in the cargo box. And I'm going to place a resurrection node here so I can save to this planet. We'll jump up here. We're going to open the cargo box. There it is. And we're going to pull out the resurrection node. All right. Now we're not going to refill it. We're not going to worry about fuel at the moment. We're good. We're going to go place this node and activate it. So we're going to die back here if we die. Let's see. Let's turn the core on. And resurrection. Okay, now if we die, we are going to be here. And I'm going to activate it. It's activated. Now if I die, this is where I come. Alright. Now we're going to try and see, remember if I can remember how to build a blueprint. Let's see. How about equip? Deploy. What do you mean? I have a basic ECU. Come on, don't be bugged. I have an ECU. Come on. There it is. It says I have it. Oh, come on. Okay, this is not good. It's a long walk to my ship. Arrgh. God, I don't want to have to build this thing by hand. Come on. Why won't it let me turn it off? What the hell's going on here? There it goes. I could technically build it by hand, but Jesus Christ. All I should have to do is hit equip. They are not missing from my storage. Everything is here. Everything. Well, how far would I have to backpack? Son of a bitch. Technically, I can backpack. Let's see how far it is. Whoops. Oh, 400 kilometers. Holy shit. That's a long way to backpack it, baby. I'm going to have to think about this. Maybe if I log out, come back tomorrow, that'll fix itself. Damn. What are the odds I can fetch that ship? How about, I'm close enough it might fetch, maybe? Too far. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Half SUU, that's pretty far. I don't want to run that far, so that tells you something. What am I going to do? It will not make the speeder. Something's bugged about it, so that's just kind of screwbally. I have all the parts, so that blueprint probably could be thrown away, right? Because it will not make it. Ain't that something? Son of a gun. Yeah, I've got the part it's claiming it doesn't have. I don't know what to tell it. My location. There's how far I have to go. See that? That's a pretty good distance. That's a long run, baby, even with backpack speed or jetpack speed. But there's no other way for me to get there. Without the speeder. And it's not going to make. Now, I guess I could just call it quits for the night and try tomorrow, or what, you know? Jesus. Arrgh. See, I can run pretty fast. not near as fast as a hover bike will go. It's a long friggin' way. Damn. Oh, I had this great plan how it was going to work out. Well, I don't have to worry about taking it back apart, do I? Pretty much scrap the damn thing. It ain't gonna, can't put it back together. It won't work. Something's wrong. Not that it's the only time I would use it for. Alright, well, such is life. That's a long jetpack. Well, it's the same we don't have third-person view. We don't. If we do, I can't figure out how to turn it on. We have third person in our ships, but we don't have it for our avatar. Yes, I am using Control Z. It is back. It's the jetpack sprint. I'm not just running, I am being boosted by the jetpack. The more talent points, once again, you have in your jetpack skills, the faster you do go, the higher you jump, and you can double jump. And here is water up here, and we cannot walk on water, we will just fly through the water. But see the waves? Aren't they cool? They've done, the water's really cool looking. I like the water. See that? Constant rolling. Looks pretty cool. White cap waves. Yep, I think you did a good job with water. It looks cool. I mean, see, we just jetpack right through the water. Doesn't matter. Our nano suit protects us. But yeah, I think they did a real good job. I think it looks cool as hell. Oh, we got a long run. This will take a while. No mistake about it. What you gonna do? See, I told you I need a rescue. Running along. I say this is a pretty long way. I kind of got screwed on this one. But there are bugs, obviously. Couldn't put the speeder blueprint back together. You should be able to. But I can't. There ain't no sense me complaining about it. It ain't gonna work. A little server lag here. Yep, server's getting a little jumpy here. Well, I think I'll go ahead and log out and finish this in the morning. Go to the ship and repair it. Just a damn shame the speeder didn't work. But I do believe that's what we'll do. We'll go ahead and call it quits here for tonight. It's already 10 o'clock, and I still want to get some flight hours in. Gotta have some flight hours. So we'll see everybody later, and we'll continue to hoof it across the planet.